The search is still on for the man who's accused of shooting and killing one officer and critically wounding another. We're live in Americus with everything we know about the search and the condition of the other officer.
And we're off to a chilly start this morning. However, by tomorrow, we'll be waking up to temperatures in the 20s. Coming up, I'll talk about who will see the coolest temperatures and how long it will last.
Plus, Georgia's own former Miss America has something on her mind, and it's not her crown. What her post-grain plans are and where she's making them happen. Eyewitness News Morning starts right now. Good Thursday morning. You're looking live over the city of Macon. It is 6:30 on this December 8th. I'm Caitlin Heck. Before we get to our top story, let's check in with Pat Kavlin with a look at your forecast.
All right, thank you, Caitlin. Good morning, everybody. We are off to a chilly start so far. Temperatures in the 40s.
Thank you, Pat. Right now, crews continue the search for Minquell Lembrick. He is the man accused of shooting and killing an Americus police officer and critically injuring a Georgia Southwestern State University officer. Wednesday night around 6 o'clock, we were outside the apartment on Country Club Drive where the shooting happened when a group of 30 to 40 SWAT team members entered the apartment, and officers asked all media crews to turn off their camera lights and remain quiet. After about 10 minutes, the SWAT team came out of the house and walked down the street to continue searching the neighborhood for Lembrick. About 2 hours later, the GBI director made a statement asking him to turn himself in.
Enough violence has occurred today. We want you to call 911 and arrange to turn yourself in. Everyone's safety is important. Contact us to end this in a peaceful manner. We want the violence to end today. Call 911 and arrange to turn yourself in, and let's end this matter.
There is a $30,000 reward for anyone with information leading to his arrest. Law enforcement says he is armed and dangerous, and anyone with information on his whereabouts should call 911. And police across the area searched all night for Lembrick and continue to do so this morning. Right now, our morning reporter Yvonne Thomas is live in Americus with what we know about the search right now and the condition of Officer Jody Smith.
Yes, Caitlin. Now, the search is still on for the alleged gunman. Actually, just a few moments ago, we heard a lot of police sirens not too far from where we're standing, right in front of the police department. Not exactly sure what that is, but they are still looking for this suspect. Now, while police are searching, Officer Jody Smith is actually still fighting for his life at the medical center in Navison Health. Now, Sumner County Chief Deputy Eric Bryant says that Smith is out of surgery and is listed in critical condition. And Chief Deputy Bryant says that Smith is a former Sumner County deputy, and he is strong and he is a fighter. This morning, the officer-involved shooting is being felt across Americus. Now, local law enforcement came in from all over Georgia and flooded the city. Now, they're helping people and GBI with this investigation. Dozens of officers and SWAT teams were on Fielder Street most of yesterday. And Cassandra Watts lives near that street, and she says she's never seen so many police officers in her own backyard.
Right here, this close to me is like serious. For this to be got to be serious. It's scary though.
Yes, and we'll be sure to keep you updated. We're actually going to go and check out exactly, see where those police cars were heading right now. We'll be sure to keep you updated on air and online. Caitlin, back to you.
All right, thank you, Yvonne. We'll be checking back with her a little later on. For now, we'll continue to follow the condition of Officer Smith and keep you updated right here on 13 WMAZ. And our Claire Davis spent the day in Americus yesterday and learned more about Officer Nicholas Smar, who was killed while responding to that domestic disturbance.
The quiet city of Americus was flooded with law enforcement from all over Georgia on Wednesday. Americus Police Chief Mark Scott says 25-year-old Officer Nicholas Smar was shot and killed while responding to a domestic disturbance call at Country Club Apartments. Georgia Southwestern University police officer Jody Smith responded as backup.
2 officers encountered a suspect in the domestic at the scene. Gunshots were exchanged, and the 2 officers were wounded. Officer Smar succumbed to his injuries this morning. Officer Smith has been life-flighted to an area trauma center where he's in very critical condition.
Scott says Smar had been with the department since 2012.
It's a tremendous loss to our family. It's been many, many years since we've had an officer fall in the line of duty here in Americus, although our neighbors in Peach County just experienced the exact same thing. So it's a tragedy beyond words. It's one of our family members it's been taken from us.
But he says the outpouring of support from the community is what's keeping his officers going.
And we thank you for the love and for the prayers that have gone up for these two officers and for their families. We just ask that you continue to pray for them.
In Americus, Claire Davis, 13 WMAZ, Eyewitness News.
And right now, as Yvonne mentioned earlier, Officer Jody Smith is recovering in critical condition at the Medical Center Navicent Health, but many other officers here in Central Georgia didn't make it this year. The officer killed yesterday makes 7 who died this year in the Peach State. That is according to the Officer Down Memorial page. This year, Daryl Smallwood, Patrick Sondren, Tim Smith, T.J. Freeman, and Patrick Carruthers, along with an officer in North Georgia, were killed in the line of duty. We spoke with a man named Brad Parker from Macon who says he'd like to tell Central Georgia's law enforcement one thing.
I'd say we support you and we're with you guys. Keep up the fight, and if you need any help, we're here. The Middle Georgia area has always supported and always will support our men in blue, and we always will, and that's never going to change. It doesn't matter what they go through, we're going to be there for them, and we'll be there with them just like they're there with us.
Chief Deputy Eric Bryant with the Sumter County Sheriff's Office said Officer Smith is now in the intensive care unit where he will remain until he is fully recovered. In other news this morning, happening today, people living in Macon have a chance to voice their opinions on the Brownfield Assessment Program. Today is the second meeting in a series of community information sessions about the Brownfield Assessment Grant. You can learn about the status of the project and suggest more sites for assessment and voice your redevelopment ideas. That's happening today at 4 and lasts until 5 at Macon Terminal Station. Also today, another public meeting, this one about the Forest Hill Road improvements. Tonight, the conceptual designs for the project between Forsyth and Wimbish Roads is being presented. The purpose of the project is to improve the mobility and safety for all drivers. During the meeting, you'll also be able to ask questions and make suggestions on other improvements you think should be made. This meeting is happening from 4 to 7 at St. Francis Episcopal Church on Forest Hill Road. A 2016's Miss America has something on her mind, and it's not her former crown. Betty Cantrell had Georgia on her mind and music on the brain as she belted out some tunes at Capricorn Studios yesterday.
Georgia, oh mama.
In September, Cantrell told us that now that her reign as Miss America has ended, she's moving to Nashville and trying to start a country music career. One of the first steps, recording at Macon's most famous studio, which was restored by Mercer. Cantrell felt honored to be recording at the studios that have heard the sounds of the Allman Brothers, the Charlie Daniels Band, and many more.
I'm like on cloud 9, you know, it's crazy to be here standing in the, footsteps of such amazing artists while I'm on my way up. I hope to be that great someday.
It's continuing to develop musicians who strengthen the musical fabric of the city and therefore bring more people into the community and then make music a part of their life and part of their heritage also.
Cantrell recorded with Jonathan Wyndham, a South Carolina native and former contestant on NBC's show The Voice. The song the pair recorded will be produced by Mercer alumnus and Grammy-nominated producer Steve Ivey. Mercer partnered with Newtown Macon, Sierra Development, and Southern Pine Plantations in 2015 to restore those studios. It is 6:39. Let's check in with Pat with another look at that forecast.
All right, thank you, Caitlin. Good morning, everybody. Temperatures are off to a chilly start this morning, but if you think this is cold, wait until you see it tomorrow. 27 will be our temperature waking up for your Friday. And Saturday, just stay inside, 23 for the morning temperature. We'll talk about how long this cold snap lasts coming up when Eyewitness News Morning continues on this Thursday.